I love to open new packages. There will be the latest information on the top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me and Coach Raquel, and this is a passion project for me, so I'm so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Wow, season 3, episode 36.
Don't call me motherfucking trying to talk to me, find out some shit, talk about some gossip. Don't call me with no bad news. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't calling me to uplift me, if you ain't calling me to I'm not 911, I'm not in the mood. Don't call me unless there's some love on the other end of the phone. Matter of fact, I'm working. I don't want nobody to call me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do them. And
all right. Hello. I don't have any of the things I unboxed with me. Normally I would, but I don't today. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for tuning in to Refresh, Relax, Renew. This is episode 36, and we keep going. Yes, I'm Coach Raquel, and I just want to say thank you for watching. Episode 36 has been done. We're going to go watch it now, us together. So let's go. It is my hope that you are having a fantastic, phenomenal day. It is my hope that as you go through this month, what they dub as Black History Month, it is my hope that you will experience a type of self-value that is afresh and anew to you. It is my hope that you experience a kind of self-value that makes you know and never forget that you, my darling, are it. You're amazing, you're wonderful, you're all of it, and then some. You're all the things you're hoping for. All the things. You're wonderfully made. You're beautiful. And there's nothing that's good that God will ever withhold from you, from his kids, from the people who love him and serve him. All right. So anyway, episode 36, let's go.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Raquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
How are you doing today? Welcome to another show. I'm Coach Raquel, and this is episode 36 of the podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew, and I am here with you today. Another beautiful, gorgeous day. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, when I woke up this morning and I looked through my window, I slid up the blinds, and the outside was so gorgeous. It was the sunlight just streamed in. It was just such a refreshing experience, you know, like I could tell it was a new day. It's a new time. It's a new season. It's a new something. It's really, 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 really a beautiful day, and I really truly just want to bask in it, enjoy it. How are you doing? How's your day going? How is your life unfolding? How are your days, your projects going, your community? What's happening in your life? How is it going? Are you having a good time? It is my hope and my prayer that everything won't be perfect, or you know, whenever I use that word, I have to be like, perfect meaning what? You know, because I feel like the natural flow of things is perfection. Otherwise, it would not be flowing that way. That's just how I feel about it, you know? I feel like my divine is in control. And so this is how it's going, though I may not understand. So, anyway, how are you having good days? Are you having more good days than other days? You know, what are you struggling with? What are you going through? Do you have the right people to go to when you are struggling? Have you built a network, a community around yourself where you have where to go when you are experiencing tough times, challenging times? Because it's important for us to build a community around ourselves, so we can know who to go to when we're going through challenges, or even when we're having good times. Who do we celebrate things with? Who do you cry to? Whose shoulders do you cry on? Um, woo. You know, I have a lot of angels in my life, some amazingly wonderful angels. And I consider myself very blessed and very lucky that there are people who have no obligations to me, who they will listen to me. They will listen to me cry. I even have people who fight for me. Like, they won't let me just descend into darkness. They'll keep coming, you know, like, hello, I'm here, and let me know I'm here. I'm saying all of this to say it's important in our lives to find those people who show up for us, because life is not meant to be this smooth road, this broad road, or, well, there is a broad road and there's a narrow road. And we have to be cautious which of those roads we're taking on a regular basis. You know, for me, I want the narrow road every single day. I don't care if it disrupts me. I don't care if it makes me miserable. I need a narrow road. I don't want broad road. I don't want anything that's too easy. No, I want what challenges me to show up my best self all the time. That's what I want, right? So we have to build an environment around ourselves where when we're going through trying times, we know who to reach out to. And it's not the same person for everything. It's having different people that would go to. You know, there's sometimes some people who are positive, we don't want to hear them some point in time, and some people who are negative, we don't want to hear them sometimes. And sometimes, I mean, I think everything serves its purpose sometimes, because sometimes you just want someone who goes along with wherever you are, and then other times you want someone to challenge you. So I guess what I'm trying to say in the end is, make sure you are building communities around yourself, support systems around yourself, good, healthy ecosystems that you can then go to when you feel exhausted, when you feel empty, when you feel like you need replenishing. Make sure there are those environments around you that you are funding and investing in, that when it's time for you to turn to that resource, that it's available to you. You know what I mean? I'm really one of those persons who like to zone into myself, and it is something I'm trying to get out of. Like, interact, Raquel, interact. It's okay to connect with the outer world, but I don't know, for me, like, I just feel very I'm very guarded. I'm a very guarded person, very, very guarded. And I'm very protective of even the things that bother me, I'm protective of. That's just me and who I am. So I'm extremely selective with who it is that I'm speaking to about what I'm going through or my issues. I've been through some things that have made me very guarded. How did I get here? I'm just wishing you a wonderful day, and I'm just sharing, make sure you try not to build, try not to cocoon yourself into isolation, but to build an ecosystem, an environment, a support system, a resource center or network around yourself that, should you need, you can tap in. That's what I'm saying. So, I think it's important for us to invest. And when I say invest, I'm not just talking money, but money too. Money, time, attention, contributions, whether it's through thoughts or money or whatever, in a variety of organizations. For example, you have faith-based organizations, you have, even thinking about the whole thing with church and whatever. Faith-based is important. It's important to have connection with faith-based institutions. And you don't have to subject yourself to just one. You can have multiple options that you can tap into when you need to. Multiple faith-based organizations that you support, that when it's time for you to tap in, you're able to tap in. The same thing for business. You need those networks, just like you have your utility companies that you're membership with, that you subscribe to. It's the same thing with having, for example, therapeutic organizations or organizations that offer therapy, coaching. Just, you have to find what are the essential things that I need in my life to thrive. And then you need to invest in those areas or in organizations or systems that can provide that for you, so that your life can flow better, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's a new day, a new show. I'm Coach Raquel. Welcome to the show. This is Refresh, Relax, Renew, Season 3, Episode 36. I am so happy to be here. I'm so blessed to be here, to still be doing this. Believe you me, when I started this show, it was just me feeling the nag and trying to follow in obedience to shut the nag up. I just wanted to shut up that voice in my head that kept telling me to talk. And in order to kind of shut that voice up, I decided, okay, fine, I'll do it. To be honest, I wasn't sure how long was this going to really last. Like, will I really keep going? And that's why when I come here and I say to you, episode this or that is done, I'm like, yay, because I know me, and I try not to force anything on myself, because I've been through enough of life where I had no choice. So now I give myself choices, right? So there are times when there are different projects and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So that's why when I say for this one, I'm very grateful that I'm still here doing it. I appreciate that I'm still here doing it. I commend myself for still here doing it. And most importantly, I am extremely grateful that I'm still passionate about this, and I'm enjoying it, and I really like to do it. And it is my hope that I really bring a positive voice to the noise when I get here and I sit here. One of my angels called on me a couple of days ago, and she was just, I need your prayers. It's so funny because I'm not someone who prays for people. I don't like praying for people. I don't want to be asked to pray for people. It's just, I don't know, like, I feel like prayer is such an important thing that you need people who are skilled at it. You need people who are passionate about it. You need people who this is what they do. You need people who have the kind of relationship with God that when they pray for you, you can have confidence in it. And I'm not that person, I'm not that person. I'm not. I feel like my relationship with God is so fragile. It's so young. I'm so young in obedience. I'm so young in my relationship with God. I feel like a baby, an infant, even in my relationship with God, to the point where and even when God puts it on my heart, like, unless God puts it on my heart and say, you need to pray, you need to lift this person up, you need to pay some attention to this that's happening over here, you need to put some care over here. Unless that happens, where it really comes through me spiritually, where it's a something laid on my heart, unless that's the case, I don't know I'm the best person to ask to do something like that, to just randomly get up and say, okay, let's pray. No, not like that. But when it's laid on my heart, it's different. It comes from a different place. It's like I'm at that foot of the throne, and it's like God has me at a place where it's like there's intimacy there and there's connection there, and I'm just speaking to God. But so when someone, one of my angels said it to me this week, I immediately felt it, like immediately, like, just say the words. When I tell it just flowed. It's like it just flowed. I didn't have to sit down and think, okay, what am I going to pray now? I didn't. It just flowed out of me, and I was so grateful because sometimes who I am can cause me to lose favor. Or at least that's how I feel sometimes, because I really try to walk in my truth. And even if it's going to hurt your feelings, I would rather just tell you how I truly feel about something, what my truth is in that moment. And sometimes when you speak to persons, sometimes truth is not what they're necessarily searching for in that moment. They just want what they want. And I'm not that girl necessarily that's going to be here to just give you what you want. There are two people that I have obligations to in this life, and I have neither of them. So let me say, but there are two people that I feel outside of God that I have obligations to. The man I choose to marry, the man I say yes to and marry him, the child I give birth to. Those two people I have obligations to. I am obligated to bend backwards for them. I'm obligated to sacrifice. I'm obligated to think of their interest before mine, because that's the nature of that relationship. I don't have that obligation in any other relationship. I don't. Every other relationship, it's a choice. And then I also have certain obligations to people who compensate me, contract me for something, but those are contractual agreements. And that's strictly based on the contractual agreements. Whatever's on the invoice, that's my responsibility. That's it. Everything else is either goodwill or what I'm not willing to do. Yeah. So I'm just saying all of that to say I was so grateful that when that angel reached out to me, it just flowed, and I didn't have to struggle, and I didn't have to disappoint, and I didn't have to say, I'm not the person to come to. And then I was able to also share resources to say, hey, for even more support, we have to develop we need to develop support seeking habits. We need to develop help seeking habits. We don't have to face the world alone. And I feel very, very blessed that I've had so many persons say to me, hey, you can come to me. Hey, I'm here for you. Hey, we have to get out of the mindset of, I have to do this by myself. I have to handle this on my own. You don't have to, but it just requires of you to have interest in other people so that they'll also have interest in you. It's important to show up for other people so they show up for you when it's your time. But no matter what it is you're going through, you don't have to go through it alone. You don't. And I'm the super girl of being alone. For me, when something's going wrong, I have this thing where I like to go into a dark space when something's going wrong with me. Like, I'll go under the bed. I will, if I have a place where I can like close the blinds and turn off the lights and everything. For example, like, I love where my room is now, where I just pull the blinds down and I turn off all the lights and I'm in darkness. I mean, full on darkness. Okay. And I really like that, because for me, when something's going on, going to a space of darkness just helps me silence the voices in my mind and just be. But after that, you have to be able to identify people who you can go to. You don't have to suffer alone. And also become good at communicating to people what you need. Yes. Become unafraid and unashamed of making your ask. And when you're making your ask, be honest and be direct. Let people know what you need. Because sometimes there are people in your life who care about you, who want to help, but they may not help because perhaps their experience before is that their help did not work or it caused harm rather than help. For example, I know I have that experience where I no longer try to offer help that's not requested of me, because I've had the experience where I've felt disrespected. I've felt unwanted, undervalued, but those are not the ones that really, for me, hit hard. When it hits hard for me, when it hits hard for me is when I really actually care about someone, and the way I try to help exacerbate their pain. That thing hurts me. When I'm trying to help, but my help hurts, my help increases pain, my help makes things worse, my help creates distance, more distance, it hurts me. So I've had to learn and realize that actually, until you're asked, what are you doing? You don't know what to do. I used to think that, oh my gosh, if someone is going through something, I have to figure it out. That no, two people I have to do that with. Somebody I'm married to, someone I give birth to. I can't walk away in those scenarios. Every other case, I wait. Every other case, I wait. That's my obligation. I wait to be asked. They know what they want and they'll know what to ask for. So learn how to make your asks and be unafraid, be unashamed to make it too. And you know, one of the things I had to get comfortable with, hearing no, because I have no entitlement. And there's certain habits I think we've developed in our culture where it's like, oh, I'm not going to ask because I don't want to hear them say no. Who cares if they say no? So what? Ask. Like, if you need help, ask. What do you mean? Oh my God, I don't want them to shame me. Who cares? Who cares? It's not personal. Believe you me, people are not thinking as much as you think they are. So I'm imploring you today, if you need help, ask for help. I don't care who you have to ask, and don't have any shame around it. No shame whatsoever. Just make the ask and be open to any answer, and don't let the answer stop you from asking again and again. And the more you ask, work on asking better. Work on having better questions when you ask. And also, when you show up and you ask, one of the ways to also, I think, or I've learned, one of the ways to make the ask feel better, I find, is when I'm not just asking for you to do something for me consistently, but I find ways to trade with the people who show up for me. I find ways to ensure there's some benefits for them. You know, it's okay to trade. You know, I'd like some help with this. Could you help me with this? And if you help me with this, I'd love to help you with anything you need support with. Like, we can like, there are no limitations. I'm saying expand your life by expanding your life. Expand your life by expanding the possibilities around your life. Know that you are loved. People are willing to help you. People are waiting to help you. You're not limited. You're loved. You're cared for. There are people who want you to win. Yeah, there are more people who want you to win than anything else. Yeah. And cultivate a habit within yourself to take joy in supporting other people. Well, for me, there's no greater joy than me supporting somebody. I love to support people, especially when I have clarity on what they need, how I can support them. And my biggest weakness is waiting for the ask, but I'm getting better at that. Because before, I like to just jump in it and say, let me help you. But they don't need saving. They are their own hero. I'm nobody's hero. They are their own hero. So I'll wait. So get better at asking. Get better at asking and seek support. It's okay. You don't need to go through anything by yourself, all alone. All right. Yes, baby. So today, I'm going to be sharing something with you from my book, Poetic Emotions. So let's see what I'm sharing with you today. Oh, it opened on this one, and I'm just going to share this one, this poem. Can you see it properly? These questions I ask. Right? Okay. I have a feeling this one is about my mother. It was not planned, but let's go. Yes. Okay. So these questions I ask. These questions I ask. While I was inside her, did she caress her belly? Was I by choice, or did it happen accidentally? Were there smiles as she carried me? Did she even like the pregnancy? Did she care for my birth as it happened instantly? Or did the rejection start immediately? Did she slip her nipples into my tiny little mouth? Was I rocked to sleep on her lap? Did she watch me sleep as I drifted into my dreams? Did she care I had dreams of her? As I grew older and chopped my knees, was she there to take care of me? At nights when I cried, was her love for me denied? Will I ever recall those steps she taught me, or did she? Where in my history will she be? In front, behind, or always beside me? What are mothers for, I ask? Will you tell me what mom means at last? Poetic Emotions by Raquel Reese. One of my poems I wrote sitting on top of an old tank. I remember this poem so well. It took me a long time to finish it too. I remember I have such a vivid memory of this poem. And when I wrote it, I was about like 20, 22 maybe. I was between age 22 and 24. Yeah, I think I was about age 22 or something like that when I wrote that poem. Yeah. A couple decades ago. Anyway, that's what I'm sharing with you today. And now we're going to go over to our ASMR moment. Thank you so much for staying with me. It is my hope that you like, share, subscribe, comment. I would certainly appreciate that. Now we're going to our ASMR moment. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was relaxing for you. I hope it was soothing. I hope you breathed. Yeah, I loved it. I enjoyed it. And now let's go to our first segment. All right. Thank you so much for staying with me today.
Welcome to Unboxing Solutions, where we unwrap more than packages, we unwrap possibility. Every tool you see is chosen with care, purpose, and real-life use in mind. If what you create deserves to be opened, explored, and put to work, this is that space. Gospel Foundation International Healing Ministries is a Bible-based ministry. Through worship, prayer, and deliverance, we help individuals find restoration. We equip believers to build stronger families and healthier communities. Footprints of Faith Radio shares real stories of healing and hope. Bible Talk for Children helps kids develop strong moral foundations. Apply for sponsored digital advancement support for growing your reach. Your support makes this possible. We're aiming for a $500 monthly goal. Support, partner, or give today at gfihministries.org/give.
It's a place that's real. Hello. I'm still here. Awesome. So, this is Unbox Solutions with me. I'm Coach Raquel. Thank you for staying with me so far. And thank you for joining me for this segment. And today we have a few things that we're unboxing. And over here we unbox solutions, things that bring us solutions in our daily lives. We don't just shop to spend. No, we invest. And everything you see me unbox on this show, that's me investing in myself, my lifestyle, my comfort, my self-love, my my flow of life, my joy in life. That's the purpose, right? It's not just because I want to show you something. No, it's about finding solutions, sourcing solutions consistently for myself and for those I serve and for those I care for. Yeah, awesome. So let's get into today's unboxing. All right, I don't want it to be too high. Let's go. Right, and all of these items I got on Amazon. So let's go. Yeah. So that's me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages. All right. What are we unpacking here? First, remember, always remove your personal information. Get rid of it. And I did it like that because there's a tape on it that makes it very hard for you to pull it apart. So I usually just do that. Yeah, and then I take it away and I shred it. All right, so 2 packages came in this one. This first one is the ink for my printer. Right, that's a multicolored ink, right? Ink set. And there are 2 of them in the black and the color. Right. Yes, so that's the second. And this now is my vinyl synthetic gloves for cooking. This is for cooking. So, yeah. And if you go to my food channel, you'll see me use them there. Now, this one is remove personal information. Again, always do that. Yes. Always remove them. All right. This one looks like the headset I'm wearing. Yes, that's the headset. Here we go. It's very warm. Fits very nicely. I love it. It's very comfortable, very clear. It's noise canceling. I love it. I'm wearing it right now. I love it. And the link is scrolling at the bottom you can go to my amazon.com/shop/UME radio. get the link to all the things that I share. I want to share the ones that worked and served as a solution for me. Yes, that's my headset. I'm wearing it right now. Yeah. Yes. All right. Next package. Next package. What's this one? Let's see. Right. Is that the dress? No, okay, that's a new backdrop that I purchased for a new show that I'm going to be a part of. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to share it with you. It's actually a sales podcast that I'm going to be co-hosting, and this is the new backdrop. So that will be my backdrop for that show. Yes. I really, really like it. It's like it's showing the lights of New York, and as it falls on the ocean. It's really, really pretty, really beautiful, and it's not expensive either. Let's keep going. All right, next package. See, always protect your information, remove your information, your personal information. Right, now this is a dress that I bought. Yeah, really, really nice house dress and some underwear, some undies. Oh no, this is the top. Oh, that's not. The undies are coming in. I did get some knickers. Yeah, so that's the label. And so this is a top that I purchased, and I want this top to be the first thing I wear when I start that show that I just talked to you about. Yeah, so this is a house dress. Very, very comfortable. I haven't worn it yet, but I love the texture. It's very soft. It's a very, yeah, the material is very soft. I like it, very warm. And what I like about this dress is the material anyway, because I haven't worn it yet, but what I love that it's spacey. I intentionally bought it that way. I wanted it roomy, you know what I mean, and airy. But the material is soft, but not hot. It's good. I love the material for tropical environment because that's where I live, you know. So, yeah. What's next? What's next? What's next? Let's go to the next package. Let's go. Yes. Now, the next one, remove the personal information. Always do that. There we go. Get rid of that. Yeah. Now. Oh, this package has a couple of things in it. A couple of things. And let's see. So the first thing, okay, I have to take that away. Put that away. Yes, so let's go. This now is the knickers or panties or whatever you call it, undies, whatever. I got me some black ones. You know, when I bought this, I actually thought it was more of like a big roomy thing because that's what I like. But I realized these are more fitted, so I'm going to be wearing these for when I'm. Anyway, these are black for special occasions. But I'm going to be getting. I like to have some house undies that I wear they feel almost like shorts. Yeah. And this is a workout bodysuit. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to work out in a bodysuit, and now I finally have one, and I haven't worn it yet. I plan to soon in my workout videos at kellysfitnessadventures.com. So here we are. That's my very, very first bodysuit that I've ever owned. And I'm looking forward to wearing it. Yes, and then I purchased myself a set of an extension with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8. It has 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, and then it has the USBs and whatever, and the USB-C and all of those. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm actually using it right now. I'm using that right now. It's on my floor in front of me, and I love it. I love that plug. That plug. So this has been, oh my word, this has been our episode of Unbox Solutions with me for today. day for today. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. And may you find the solutions you seek for your life to be full of joy, and for your life to be resilient, and for you to be in an environment where you can thrive. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in your joy. There was a time in my life about over 5 years ago when it was a very tough thing for me to invest in myself. Even buying groceries was a challenge, but I would invest my money, my hard-earned money. It was easy for me to just give it away to people, or if someone needs help, oh my gosh, let me help them, busy trying to. And to be honest with you, I wasn't even trying to be the savior for anybody. It's just that I was treating my trauma. I was trauma-led. I suffered, so I didn't want you to suffer. And so that was the mindset I had. And thank God for the people who said no, because their no led me to learning myself better, learning how to steward over my resources better. And now I really understand. God had to take me through a process of, girl, I blessed you for you. Can we talk about that? I had to go through a process where God said, I blessed you for you. I'm telling you, I'll never forget the first time I purchased my treadmill. I purchased my treadmill. It was when I heard the voice of God so loudly. I gave you this money for you, not for anybody else. And it took me some more time to learn and think and realize that when it's for somebody else, God tells me that too. So I don't have to just have this automatic thing where I think, oh, my goodwill is just for somebody else. No, my goodwill begins with me. And then as I overflow, other people will be blessed by being invested and interested in me. Because if you're not invested and interested, chances are you will not benefit from my overflow, right? And vice versa. If I'm not invested and interested in you, I won't benefit from your overflow. So that's what I was talking about earlier when I opened the show, where I was saying, we have to build ecosystems around ourselves, resource centers, an environment that we can thrive in. So my unboxing is a part of that. All of these things I invest in that I share with you is a part of me ensuring that I have what I need, and I'm building an environment and ecosystem around myself where I will thrive. And God had to show me that I had to start with me. So remember to start with you. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for sharing. Let's now go to our next segment.
This is Free Money Wednesdays, where funding meets vision. Access becomes strategy, the fastest way to get attention. Apply for funding that lets them see your brand in motion. If you're building something worth backing, visibility starts here. Strong organizations are built on more than strategy, they're built on people. At Human Impact Development Consulting, we help organizations strengthen leadership and support staff well-being. We put clear people systems in place that actually work. From HR advisory and policy development to leadership support, we cover it all. Our approach is practical, ethical, and people-centered. If ready for clarity, confidence, and sustainable impact, visit sandrinedunkley.com. Human Impact Development Consulting, where people systems meet performance.
All right. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for staying with me here on Refresh, Relax, Renew. Now, it's time for Free Money Wednesdays. Okay, before we even begin, right? Before I even start sharing the grant information or whatever with you, let me say this, right? There's something I want to share. Yes, episode 36 of Refresh, Relax, Renew, but I think it's episode 35 of Free Money Wednesdays. I'm Coach Raquel, and I'm so happy to have you here with me. The link to the blog is in the ticker below, mycoachministry.com/blog. And I want to share something with you I know this that I'm going to be sharing with you is what I share. I have what I call the weekly boost, and this is for my exclusive members, those people who are paid members on my platform in my ecosystem, and I provide support to them. Now I'm going to share something with you. I want to start out with this, and then I'm going to go into the free Money Wednesdays. But before, I just really, really want to share this with you. And this that I'm about to share with you is something that I ended up doing this because, I had an experience with a client that I was trying to help. And or at least I thought I was trying to help, but it didn't really flow that way. And I felt a bit disrespected, not because the person was intentionally seeking to be disrespectful to me, but the experience made me feel disrespected. And so I got off, and I said, when things like this happen to me, I don't blame anybody. I look at it as something for me that I need to pay attention to. It's a message, a lesson for me. The person speaking to me, and I don't want to be in my feelings. I want to really get the message of what they're saying to me, right? So this is something I shared yesterday, and I want to share it with you as I begin this segment of the show, because I think it's really, really important, especially for those of you who are entrepreneurs who, when you have struggled, we have this thing where it's almost like we want to save everybody else from struggling because we've struggled. But that's not your job. That's not your job. As a support system, it's not your job to try to save somebody, to try to be somebody's hero. They are their own hero. They are their own hero, and we should be strengthening them to be their own hero. And so I want to share this with you today that I shared. When your strength becomes your strain, 3 traits to steward wisely, right? There are traits we carry that in a healthy environment are powerful assets when they're wanted, right? But in an unhealthy one can quietly become our disease, right? So this week's reflection comes from a place of honesty, growth, and gratitude. It really came from how I was feeling, and so I just want to share this with you. 3 traits to use wisely so they don't use you, so the traits don't use you, not people. So the first one is your passion to serve. Care deeply, of course, but never forget your place. Their business is theirs, not yours. Number 2, overextending in the name of help. Doing more than you're assigned isn't kindness when it removes accountability. Excellence is integrity. Overreach is interference. And the last one, wanting it more than they do. I used to suffer with this. I don't suffer with it anymore. Thank you, God. You can't desire growth for someone more than they desire it for themselves, unless asked. Manage your giving. I wanted to share that with you. I found this on TikTok and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to share this. And I have to also say congratulations to this person on your grant application approval. I want us to know that there are people out there who are receiving grants. As a matter of fact, I'm currently working with a client right now who we're currently going through a grant application for her, and this grant will be successful. It will be successful, and we are currently working on it for her, for that organization, and I'm so proud of it. But I just wanted to share this with you because I want you to be hopeful. Right, I wanted to share this with you. Congrats, your application has been approved. And the approved amount is $23,000. And of course, they provided bank details. And the message here, new business, existing business, SBA grants are being approved for qualified startups and small business owners every day. No gimmicks, no guessing, just the right process. And you can comment fund to learn more. And this, I just wanted to show it to you because I want you to understand that not only it's not just possibilities that exist for you. Real life solutions exist for you. Real life solutions exist in your real world. In the area of funding, I did not just call this segment Free Money Wednesdays for no reason. Money is really out there. I've been a beneficiary of multiple grants and projects that gave me the biggest payouts, right? And not just the biggest payout, but these projects challenged me. They challenged me and they grew me and they groom me as well, because it really helped me learn how to attract big funders, how to bring solutions to big funders, how to get them to know me, see me, interact with me. So it's a real thing. I remember I went through a process where I lost everything. It was taken from me, stolen from me, whatever you want to call it. I just feel like God rerouted it. All right. That's how I feel about it. But I remember being at zero, not sure what to do, and getting the call. It was a funded project. And I remember those, like, they saved my life. And that's why I say, again, your ecosystem, you have to have the right potpourri or mix, the right mix of people that you're connected to. It's funny because for a long time I felt like I'm not very social, I'm not connected, but that's not true. Actually, I'm very connected. It's just, who am I connected with? I'm not necessarily connected to people who we just sit down and chit chat every day. I'm connected with people who are busy movers and shakers. That's why and I didn't really consider it company because I was more thinking social. No, I'm very well connected. I have a very strong group of influencers and movers and shakers who I'm connected to or connected with, who actually care about me, my mentors, and stuff like that. So my support system. So you have to have a good blend. It can't just be people in your immediate community. It can't just be people who share your thoughts and your views. You have to know people from different spaces in different places in life, so that it need to be your group need to be, your connection or your ecosystem, your environment need to be dynamic. You need to be dynamic. But yes, let's now go over to some grants I want to share with you for today. And first I'm going to share a video. God moves and my life and my life grows. God moves and I expand. God moves and I'm here. Anyway, so I want to share this clip with you, and then I'm going to share with you a couple of grants that are available for February. All right, let's go. These grants I'm about to share with you, they're actually not on not on the blog. They're actually in my exclusive group. This is information I share in my exclusive membership. But I wanted to just share it with you today so you know they're available. You don't have to pay for the information because I'm sharing it with you right here. And they don't pay for the information once you're part of the membership that you paid for, and it's not expensive, like $9 for the month. Once you're a part of that membership, then you get access to all the resources that we share, all of it. So I'm just letting you know that this particular one I'm sharing, you will not find it on the blog. But if you're one of my members, then you'll have access to the resource center that we're building every day. So here we go. Let's play this one first, and then I'll share it with you.
So also knowing versus applying the critical gap, right? You do have to actually sit down, strategize. So maybe at the first of the month, you look through the grant list and look at the grants that you want to apply for. Then you establish a timeline. When are these grants due and when am I going to submit them? Then you actually set aside time to actually write the grant. Maybe take a day, right? Like I'm going to take a day to do it, or I'm going to take a week to do it. But set aside 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day to work on the grant. You have to strategize and organize. Make sure you review. Get somebody else to review. So if Tonda writes a grant, ask Keisha to review the grant for you, right? Like basically, Tasha might say, I wrote this grant, but you're not going to really check yourself. And I told you, AI, even though it's great, it's not always perfect. So Tasha might say, I wrote this grant. Tonda, can you review it to make sure it makes sense to you? Always triple check yourself to make sure that grant is tight, because you might miss something simple that can cost you the grant. That can be a critical gap.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. I have her details running in the ticker. Dr. Ebony Gray, Ebony A. Gray, and you can find her on YouTube. Dr. Ebony Gray, and her company. Oh man. All right. Next week, I'm going to give you information. You see, it's not because I'm sloppy why I don't have it. It's because it's for my exclusive members, and that's where it is. Where I have it is for my exclusive members. That's why I don't have it with me. I just want to share these grants with you. It's difficult for me to read it from, oh, I can. All right, so the ones I'm going to be sharing with you are all ones that are, their deadlines are in February. See here? All February 2026. All February 2026. Of course, I have it for the full year, but for today, I'm sharing just the ones that it's February, so I share the ones in February. Again, if you're a member if you join my membership, the Calm Collective, this is information you have access to all the time. I give you all the updates. I'd like to invite you to join the Calm Collective. It's cheap. It's $9 for the month. And there's so much information that's being built and shared there. It's a whole resource center, a support hub that I call it, where we share all kinds of information. You're able to ask me questions. You're able to, every month, you get to book a session with me, stuff like that. And we can share information. And I encourage you to create your own. As you come into my network, you can leverage that network by creating your own. As my network shares information with you, you can create your own network and share that information with them. And let's pass it on. Right? Anyway, let me just go to these grants that I want to share with you that are currently available. The first one is the Nordic Baltic Mobility Network funding, and that is for the Europe. And then we have, I'm just going to tell you the grants that are available because, and you can see on the screen some of the things because it's difficult for me to share everything with you. I want you to see the deadline. All right. So I'm just going to share the name of the grants, but as you look at the screen, you can see like the deadlines and things like that. All right. So let's just go. Let's go. I'll share the grant and the region. Right. All right. So it's Nordic Baltic Mobility Network funding. That's Nordic and Baltic countries. Legacy Disposal Site Abatement Grant Program for California statewide. Cyber ASAP Year 10 Phase 1 National UK. And then we have Creative Heights for Oregon statewide. Connect Fund Round 2 Northern Ireland /UK. Partner agreement with California, CESU, Pacific Coast, Mariana Archipelago, and that's Australia. And then you have, I don't know if it's archipelago or archipelago, lago, anyway, whatever. my apologies. Community development grants, that's for Chicago. SBP and SMP Startup and Expansion Grant, California statewide. Seed Grant for media outlets to cover national resource management and green growth in Nepal 2026. That's Nepal. And then we have FAO International Innovation Grant 2026. That's global. The SPP and SMP, right? This is where we're. So all of these that I was sharing with you, I'm sorry, I was scrolled down at the time, but here we are. All right. So now we go to the seed grant for media outlets. That's what I just said. And as you can see, the deadline is February 15. What? Okay, February 15, like in 3 days. So the deadline's over. You can see the deadlines here. And I'm going through the names of them. And then we have, after the seed grant, seed grants. It's not just a grant, it's seed grants for media outlets to cover national resource management and green growth in Nepal 2026. And that's for Nepal. FAO International Innovation Award 2026, that's global. You can see right here where we're at. That's $10,000. You can see it on the screen. Qualcomm Make in Africa Startup Mentorship Program 2026. Then we have UNESCO World Press Freedom Prize 2026. Guillermo, it says UNESCO Guillermo Cano World Press Freedom Prize 2026. That's global. Rep Air Advancing Aircraft Maintenance GBS 2026. That's US national. Then you have Norden, that's Nordic and Baltic Region Community Legacy Fund. All on there. Legacy Fund. England Creative Careers Services 26, 27 to 28, 29 UK wide. Then we have 2026 National Geological and Geophysical Data Preservation Program USA National. You have Nike Community Impact Fund, that's Portland Metro, N Willamette Valley and SW Washington. You have Project Assistance, Community Arts Festivals, British Columbia, Canada. And we have National Grassroots Organizing Program, NGO, USA and Territories, Local Training and Education Program for the Prevention of DV, California statewide. Then we have for Ghana, and we have UNICEF Venture Fund Startup Lab Cohort 6. And that is Ghana. Then we have America 250 request for proposal, RFP, US, that's for USA, for the USA. Then we have SB 1 Sea Level Rise Adaptation Track 2, that's CA Coast and SF Bay, North America, National Sexual Abuse Support Line, England and Wales, Presidential 1776 Award, USA and Territories. Let's see if we're still on the February. This is so funny. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yes. So those are still for February. Still going. Still going. As you can see, the deadlines over here. So it's February. All right. And then now we're at the FY 2025 to 2026 Listos California Regional Grant. That's for California coastal region. Then you have FY 2025-26 Listos California CERT. CERT Support Grant, LC Program, California, UNESCO Program 2026, that's global. Then you have Listos California Regional Grant, Coastal California, Literacy Coaches and Reading Specialists Grant. That's also statewide in California. And then we have more Nordic Baltic Mobility Artist Residences, and that's for the Nordic and Baltic region. Housing assistance for victims of human trafficking, USA National. Integrated services for minor victims of human trafficking, USA and Territories. Preventing trafficking of girls, USA National. Supporting survivor engagement in anti-trafficking, USA National. Adopt Facilitator Support Grant, Round 6, England. Tactical Missile Innovation Challenge, USA. Lead Hazard Reduction Capacity Building, USA National. Helping Justice Involved Re-Enter Employment 2.0, that's California statewide. And we keep going, All right, so we're almost done. We have what, 2 more to go? 3 more to go, and we're done for February. Right. So we spoke about the helping justice, right? And then uh we have 988 suicide and crisis lifeline, sorry, administrator, that's USA National. And then we have species recovery program, SRP, that's in England. And the final one for February is port infrastructure development program, PIDP, and that is US national. And those are the ones that are currently available for February. All right. So as I went through them, share it with you, you can now take this information, you can go online, plug it in, search so you can get the details for the application of a grant. Or, like I said before, if you need our help and support, you can join my membership, my monthly membership, join the Calm Collective and gain access to the resources that are there, as well as access to people who can help you get the information. Because once you're part of the membership, then you can let us know what information you need more on, and then we can help connect you with that. We're not there to do the work for you. We're just a support system to help you, right? So that's why we're there. That's why it's important for you to know what you want so you can ask the right questions to get the support that you need. I'm Coach Raquel. Thank you so much for watching. Today. It's been my honor to serve you. And it is my hope that these grants that I just shared with you, you'll find them useful and helpful. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. Help is here. Help is out here. Just be great at help seeking. Be great at networking. And you don't even have to be great. Just do it. Just seek help and get better at it. You know what I mean? Because there is help out here. We don't have to just focus on what's not going right. You can actually focus on also what the solutions are. Because, you know, we've been talking about, we're hearing a lot about the trafficking and blah, blah, blah. I think I mentioned about 3 or 4 or so grants that have been made available to address those issues. So we can choose which side we want to focus on, the dark side or the light side, or where the light, we want to focus in the dark or want to focus where there's light. You know what I mean? So God is not just allowing the dark to happen. He's also creating light. We just need to find it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Free Money Wednesdays today. I'm Coach Raquel. It's my pleasure to serve, and it is my hope that I see you soon as part of my membership, as part of the Calm Collective, where we can provide more support to you. Thank you so much for watching. Let's go to our next segment, our final segment. Yeah.
And now, allegedly, where we slow the story down. This is about insight versus impact, learning from what we observe. Instead of paying the price ourselves, their experiences become our education. So growth doesn't have to come with damage.
Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries is a global church without walls. We're serving communities through live services, prayer intervention, and outreach that changes lives. Support our $500 monthly giving drive at WAMOE.org/give. Shop with purpose at faithmerchandise.com, featuring Dr. Faith's Miracle Lemonade. Book Dr. Faith for therapy, speaking, or ministry at drfaithreborn.com. Grow through professional connection and vocational training at theexcelproject.com. Subscribe to our monthly newsletter and follow us on socials at WAMO Ministries. Become a great motivator. Help us empower minds for success in the kingdom of God.
All right, so I'm Coach Raquel, and it's now time for Allegedly. Allegedly. Just remember, allegedly. Everything is alleged. that I'm going to be speaking about, because I was not there in person. I did not have first-hand account of it. However, I find it useful to discuss and to entertain, so that I can experience, I can be inspired to do my self work, so I can experience breakthrough, and the same for you. All right, that's the purpose of sharing it, so we can experience breakthrough. Now, unallegedly, this is where truth meets opinion and headlines meet hard questions. My questions, your questions. Let's ask, okay? Let's explore. So, welcome to Allegedly. Allegedly. All right? Now let's go through our copyright disclaimer for today, and our copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. We are not trying to infringe on anybody's rights or their information or their thoughts, their ideas, their IP, whatever. That's not what we're seeking to do. However, there's some interesting conversations at times that happen. I, from time to time, may want to comment on them. And today specifically, there are some clips that I saw on TikTok that I really, really would like to react to or comment on and share my thoughts on it, right? So that's what we're going to do now. That is what we are going to do now. All right. So, and that's why we shared that fair use thing, because we're not trying to infringe on anybody's thing, but we want to be able to use it as conversation starter, discussion, reflection, this reference points for our discussion. Now, there's something I want to share with you. I want to start this discussion with by sharing something with you from this book. This book is When Fun Is Not Funny. It was written by Keith Merritt, somebody I know personally. Hello, I know the author. It's a beautiful, let me tell you something. It's life-changing when you start interacting with people who, when you have in your network the very people who you reference. Growing up, I said this last week, where growing up, I never, first of all, I never thought I'd ever become an author. That was never something I aspired to become, thought I could become, because it felt so far reaching, like it was so out of my reach, right? Because most of the books I read or had access to, I did not know the authors. And I'm more intentional now about knowing the people I quote, knowing. So that's why I said you've got to be invested in the people in your network, the people who God gave you, the people you have access to. Get to know the people. Get to know the people who are within your grasp, your reach, your touch. Support your people who are closest to you. You should know the people who influence you. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just very proud to know Keith. And of course, you can get his book on Amazon at amazon.com /author/Keith A. Merritt. He is there. When Fun Is Not Funny by Keith Merritt. And I want to share something with you, and then I'm going to go to the clips that I want to share with you. So just listen to this. Listen to what he wrote. All right. All right, this is better. Me and high school. Oh, sorry. Me and high school. All right. All right. Okay. Me and high school, the author wrote. Working in a high school and observing the many kinds of behaviors exhibited by students, I have come to realize that to be effective in helping teens make good decisions, I need to be transparent and honest without crossing the boundaries of student-teacher relationship. One high school where I worked was particularly particularly focused on freedom of self-expression for both staff and student. It was unusual to see young boys with their pants hanging down near their knees, exposing underwear that was often unclean. Many of the girls came dressed in ways that were highly provocative for a school setting. Tops so revealing, it looked like their breasts were about to spill out, and G-strings clearly visible whenever they sat down. Some wore so much makeup and so many accessories that it was no surprise many of them arrived late, trying to look picture perfect. I wanted to share that. I especially, when he spoke about the boys and their pants hanging so low, almost to their knees, and the girls, their breasts almost spilling out, right? Now, we're going to go to the first clip that I want to talk about. Before I go, let me say this, yes? What I want you to ask yourself is this. Why in a world that is so critical of us, when the IRS don't play about their taxes, when the businessman don't play about you paying him his money, when the traffic cops and the ICE agents they don't play about immigration, when in a world where when we don't play about something, we're so strict with it, we can even be draconian, if I may say so myself. That's in my opinion about it. But when it comes to our kids, it's okay for them to take the club scene to the school ground. Does it make you wonder why? Why would what he just wrote, what I just read, that this author wrote, even exist? Why would you have students looking like strippers on the school ground? What kind of, these are young people, adolescents, right? In between child and adulthood, still figuring their way out. Isn't this when the experts say their sexuality, the confusion, the heightened of their sexual desires, their curiosity, isn't this the time when that's happening? So why in a world when we're strict about something, we will go to measures unimaginable for it? Well, when it comes to our kids, I don't see that kind of interest, that kind of, I will go to war to protect these. Yeah, I will sanction people for their protection. Don't you have questions? Let's go to our first clip.
The reason why they want to get kids so young is they know if they get kids young, and like one of the kind of more, shows you how they think about this, quotes from the docs was, the young ones are the good ones, is that you get someone young and that becomes their social network for life. Each individual platform is scared that if they don't get, the next set of 10-year-olds, the next set of 12-year-olds, the next set of 14-year-olds, that someone else will get them. If it's not Instagram, it'll be TikTok. If it's not TikTok, it'll be Discord. And that when we look forward in 10 years, that community will age as that is their social platform. Think about millennials. Like, they make fun of millennials of, they're on Facebook, right? It's because that's what they aged up with. And that's why companies go after these younger users.
How do they intentionally target children as young as 10?
Well, it's things like when you have a queue that has 3.5 million accounts that are under 13, that someone has already told you are under 13, and you choose not to review them, that's a great example of saying we're gonna keep these kids on there as long as possible. You give them a chance to age out into actually being okay users. It's things like one of the things the documents discuss is Facebook had conversations around, should we turn off notifications during the school day? Because kids reported it makes them anxious, distracts them from school, makes them less productive. One of the reasons they chose not to was they said penetration in schools, like the more kids we can get in a single school community, the more usage we get. Like it's a network effect. They intentionally don't want to avoid these places because if the more kids they can get in any individual school community, the more usage and stickiness they'll get over time.
And that's from, well, you see it, 60 minutes clip. Now, sometimes, to be honest with you, I ask myself, why do people have children? Why? And oftentimes when I hear of people who have children, it's more I hear, I want to have a child. I want to have a child. I wanted to have 6 children. I dreamed of having children on a farm with horses, with horses and goats and chickens and whatever, right? But as I grew older and I became more informed, I got to a place where I started saying to myself, why do you want to have kids, Raquel? Why? And how will it be in the kids' best interest? Really take a look at your world. Is this a world you really want to bring someone into when they never had a choice, that they don't have a choice? You just decide you want to have kids, you want to be a mother, you want to be in charge of somebody. We really have to think about it. What is driving my desire to have a child? Is it that I want someone to become a sycophant over? Is it because I want someone to make me feel like I'm needed? Is it because I need to feel like I have control over somebody? Is it because I feel like I want to be important and I want to be important to someone? What is the need that's driving it? Because if we're not having kids in the interest of populating Earth in God's honor, and having kids who serve God, and having kids who God approved, and within environments that God designed, and for the purpose of kingdom building, then what's the reason that we're having kids? Now, as I listened to her, you see, everybody is hustling. I always say this, everyone is hustling. I mean, everyone is hustling. You're hustling, I'm hustling, we're all hustling. And that's why it's so important to be intentional about the environment you're building around yourself, so you can network with hustlers who align with your hustle, who align with your divine purpose. And you have to make sure your hustle is connected to the divine. And a lot of us don't do that, because to do that requires a lot of self-work, and it requires learning God, learning self, then learning God. It requires obedience, and it also requires sacrifice. It requires commitment and accountability, really doing the work, really truly doing the work. And a lot of us are looking for other people to do the work for us. We want to say we have this, we own this, but the responsibility to build it, to do it, to actually do the real work is on somebody else. We want to delegate. That's not leadership. Delegation is a part of leadership, but that is not the entirety of what leadership is about. So when we talk about having kids, the reason I don't have kids is not because I can't have kids. It's because when I really sit down and think about it, is it fair? Do I want to bring someone in this world based on my experience, based on what I've been through, and based on what I'm going through? Do I have the infrastructure within which to raise healthy, safe children and provide them with environments that are safe? Because the world is not designed to protect your kids. The world is not designed to facilitate the best interest of your children. What I heard the author describe in this book was not much different from what I heard that woman on 60 Minutes say. It literally, our kids are targeted. And environments are so designed to get them into a state of mental consumerism. Is there such a thing? Well, I make it up. It's like we're conditioning them for consumption, sexual consumption, material consumption. We are conditioning them for world. We are making them prey for predators. What goes through a boy's mind when he sees a girl's G-string peeking through her skirt or shorts or whatever she wears, her pants? What goes through his mind? Not even that. What goes through his body? What happens with his private parts when that happens? And does he have the mental strength, the self-control to not act on that? And when it's happened repeatedly, and I'm not blaming the girl and I'm not blaming the boy, I'm just saying, what happens when a girl is looking at a guy and his pants are all the way down to his knees? What happens to them sexually? What goes through their little underdeveloped brains? What happens to them? Why would that ever be something that is not eradicated in schools, where they're sent to go learn, to function in the world? But this is it, right? This is something that God had to teach me. God taught me, Raquel, nothing is wrong with the intentions behind what you see. Let me say that again. Nothing is wrong with the intentions behind what you see. What you see is exactly what they want you to see. And by nothing is wrong, I'm saying, what God is saying to me is, because we have this, how did they let that happen? Oh my God, how did that happen? It happened because someone made it happen. It's not a mistake. They didn't make a mistake. That was their intention. Exactly what they present before you, you need to see it as it is, so you can realize this is how they operate, and you can choose to not flow with them, to choose something else. It's not by accident that they have our kids looking like that, operating like that. What kind of learning is happening in that kind of environment? What kind of learning? They're learning how to function in world. They're learning how to be consumers. So we may be here saying, they're not learning business. They're not learning this. They're not there for that. What you see is exactly what it is. Don't be caught up with what they tell you. Pay attention to how they operate, because how they're operating is intentional, and they're not making any mistakes. That was their intention in the first place, and you have to make decisions based on based on what they did, based on the activities in front of you. Do you want your children being raised, being groomed and grown and reared in that kind of environment, because they are preparing them for the world they desire the world to be? Did I say that right? They're preparing your kids for the kind of world they're building. They're training your kids to conform to the world standard, to live by world standards and to operate by world standards. Because when they do that, then businesses thrive, money flow. And then we talk about STIs in the schools. If you're going to take the club scene, the adult club scene, and facilitate that on school grounds, that's not accident. That's intentional. They know what they're doing, no matter what they're saying. They're grooming our kids for long-term consumerism. They're grooming them as long-term consumers. They start early, cultivate habits in them, and then that makes them consumers for the rest of their lifespan. Unless, of course, God comes in and creates some disruptions. I think it's Dr. Umar Johnson who's always talking about the school to prison pipeline. It's not just school to prison pipeline. You have the school ground to the club pipeline. It's like when you think about it, it's almost like grooming them to be trafficked. It's almost like grooming them to be lusted after. So when it starts happening, even though their brains know this is off, their system has become so acclimatized to it. The taste, they already have a taste of it, right? It's like the habits. It's already a part of their habit, the culture. So even something that the instinct says it's wrong. This is wrong, but the culture within them, it's like, but this is familiar. I don't know. I don't have kids. What do I know? I guess all I'm trying to ask is, can we not see? And when we see, what do we do? Because complaining about it isn't it. It's choices. It's decision making. Let's continue, because let's continue.
Jeffrey Epstein did not invent a dark new crime. He stepped into a very old role.
Man, when I heard this clip and what this lady said, when I told it, it went straight into my brain and just locked in, like, yeah, yes. You know, I was having a conversation with someone I respect, like I have mad respect for this man. He's a man of God. He is just the greatest leader I've ever met in life, in real life, you know. That's how I see him anyway. And I remember we were talking once, and we were talking about lust, you know, and he was saying, you know, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what was said, but it was my understanding was kind of like, yeah, but you know, if a man is lusting and let's say he gets married or whatever, he doesn't stop lusting. It's still there. So I was saying, so when he gets old and gray and his penis no longer works, he's not sleeping around. And I remember he said, yeah, but the lust is still, no, the lust is in his mind. But I'm like, yeah, but he's not acting on it. So having it in your mind doesn't mean you have to act on it, whether your penis work or doesn't work. I just think the message is a message of acceptance of a state of being that creates a level of acceptance that later on we want to criticize them for, you know. And I'm not saying that. And you could also look at it the flip side and say, oh, well, since it's out in the open and they see penises and G-strings, maybe it will become so, they'll have sensory adaptations, and they'll adapt to it that when they see it out there, then they won't be so tempted. But what's the process from innocence to adaptation? What happens between that timeline? Because before something becomes habit, it has to be practiced, right, and experienced, right? That's all I'm saying. And then we get to stages now where we have the quote unquote Epsteins of the world, and we want to hang the whole thing around his neck and say he's this or he's that or he's this or he's that. And meanwhile, all of this is just talk. Just talk. It's just conversation. It's just discussions, and where are the actions behind it? Perhaps there are no actions because maybe he just had a role in a system that already exists. So all we're here talking about it as if it's new. It's appalling. This author just talked about the school grounds and what's happening there. Then we had the other lady who talked about the social media platforms or the businesses and how they groom our kids to become consumers of all things. But Jeffrey Epstein shocks us. We're shocked.
Enslaved black girls, little black girls, were openly sold as what traders called fancy girls. That was not some backroom slang. It was a market category. A regular enslaved woman in her prime, valued for labor, might sell for $1,200 to $1,600 by the 1850s. A fancy girl could sell for 2, 3, even 4 times that. Some documented sales reached $6,000 or $7,000. That was the price of a house in those days.
Wow.
The law made it possible. Enslaved girls could not refuse. White men faced no consequences. Courts enforced the contracts. Banks financed the purchases. The entire system treated sexual exploitation as a luxury good for wealthy men. That's how Epstein made his money too. After slavery ended, officially, the paperwork changed. The pattern did not. Ownership became arrangements. Coercion became opportunity. Silence became discretion. Fast forward to the late 20th century. Jeffrey Epstein did not create a network of powerful abusers. He just built additional infrastructure. He sourced vulnerable girls. He moved them. He insulated the men who wanted access to them. He functioned like a broker on an old market that never fully disappeared. Everyone knows just enough. No one important asks questions. Institutions protect reputations, not children. Epstein was a modern version of a system that has always existed wherever wealth, gender, age, and impunity collide.
My God.
Anytime powerful men expect access without consequences, someone will always be there to build the supply chain. Epstein already had the interest. He already had access to rich men. He had a creepy charm about him that those rich men recognized. That it's just part of the system of America. It's American history. And it continues down that same dark path. And it's time for people to start talking about it. Get curious.
And it's not just America. You see, if we're honest, really, truly honest, you see, the way people sometimes get at you with this Bible thing. Oh, the Bible this and the Bible that, and you've got to do this according to the Bible, and Jesus said, and you have to love God. And if kingdom warriors are only people who fight to defend the Bible and fight to defend a certain belief and fight to the death to honor the God they've never met, then that's why we are where we are. So we shouldn't blame anybody because we're all contributors to where we are. You know, there are two things I live by that the same Bible said. And I'm going to say it my way based on my memory. The two commandments that are most important. Love God and serve no other God but God. Then love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, if you have not mastered those two, don't talk to me about Bible. Don't talk to me about Bible. Sometimes when I hear men of God talk about what they're going to lose in a marriage, or when gold diggers this and gold diggers that, and which God are you serving again? Sorry. Because if you're providers, then why are you worrying about losing? Provide. Aren't you the one who should be left empty? Because you're the provider? You're the hunter? You're the gatherer? Aren't you supposed to be the one that makes sure nobody is hungry in life? Isn't it for you to sacrifice yourself? Leader? Provider? So what are you talking about losing? Furthermore, if you are a great leader, then you know how to choose. And when you choose, you'll know how to manage what you've chosen or who you've chosen. Someone who I adore and I respect said to me, men are looking for love. Then why am I not married? Because I'm a lover. And I have loved. I have loved with my whole heart and soul. And I'm single. Men are not looking for love. But we talk about the school grounds, right? We are all Epsteins. We're all Diddies. We're all culpable and we're all responsible. All of us. And we keep bringing children into it. And then behave as though we have these sanctimonious behaviors like I am holy. It's like when I hear they talk about Charlie Kirk. Oh my God. Charlie Kirk was Jesus Christ. He was holier than God. And from the same people who makes him out to be holier than God, the same people speak about how he chose the devil to marry. And he chose the devils to serve in his company. So he chose to surround himself with devils, but he's a God. He is a modicum of perfection. He is perfection. Pure and holy. And this pure and holy man chose to marry the devil, according to them. But he has no devil in him. How did he attract the devil? Oh, he did not. The devil found him. You attract who you are. We attract who we are. Who you choose is a mirror of who you are. And if someone is robbing you, it's because you're a robber. So if you don't want anyone to rob you, stop being a robber. Men are not looking for love. Do we even know what love is? A lot of you men know that when you go and be with somebody else, you know somebody else's heart is bleeding. The real person who really loves you, you know their heart is bleeding because you know they exist. Anyway, I'm not here to beat men. That's not what I'm here. I speak about men because they're the leaders. I don't speak about women because women don't lead me. So if you think I'm being biased, then that's on you. Men lead. So I speak on the leadership. Anyway, we're going to go to the next clip. And this clip is so important as well and very interesting because I remember the same person I was having a conversation with, and we were talking about men who choose a particular man who was talking to this particular woman and she was a quote unquote gold digger. How did she even get your ear? Let's go. Because this guy put it so well. You see, we go buy sugar and eat sugar, then blame sugar when we have decayed tooth, when our teeth decay. At some point in time, you chose the sugar. I don't care if the sugar drop in your lap. I don't care if it fall from the sky. If you know who you are, you'll say, away from me. That's not my taste. But you see, you ate it because it is your taste. And now that you've had the taste of it and you don't like the repercussions, you're going to blame it, right? They say it's a man's world, so let's go.
Nails done, hair done, everything did. Fake gas, fake tits, everything big. Lash extensions, lip injections, misdirection, snatched waist, painted face, vacant brain. What a shame, what a shame. While they might be nice to look at, there's nothing more unattractive than a bad bitch. You know the ones. Hoes dressed in designer clothes and full of silicone, but devoid of modesty, morals, and values beyond value bulls. They have no loyalty to anything but themselves, status, and shallow shit, and no depth or substance beneath their pleasant reflection. Yet and still, all you starving motherfuckers keep listening to your sweet tooth and picking eye candy over soul food. Then
he said it. Picking eye candy over soul food. Now listen, I've had persons say to me, I remember I've gotten comments for my fitness video where someone said to me, oh my God, if your waist, what do they call it? If I snatch my waist or something like that? Waist trainer, right. oh my gosh, you'd be so sexy if you put on a waist trainer. No. I want to see myself everywhere. Everywhere. If on my podcast, when I see myself, I should look like myself. In my mirror, when I look at myself, I should see myself. When I'm on my vlogs and I see myself, I should see myself. I want to see myself every time I think of myself in my mind's eyes. I should look like myself. The same version of me that I'm looking at right now in the screen, the same version of me that I look at in the mirror, the same version of me on my blog. I'm supposed to be the same version of me in all versions of me. Yes. The naked version of me should be the same version of me I see elsewhere when I'm clothed. Same version of me, because I love me, some me. I love me. But you see, there's some of us, as he says, you come with your sweet tooth, then you blame the sugar. But you bite it. You didn't have to bite it. You ate it. You see, that's what you really want. And then you criticize. You see, we're in a world now where even being your truest self, authenticity is a problem. I've even had to check it with myself when I'm a girl. Your attitudes stink. What is this? Where I've had to check myself like, girl, this person's being their authentic self. They're making their choice. Why is this? You're not supposed to have a negative reaction when someone shows up themselves. No, you fix that. Switch that up, switch it up, switch it up, switch it up. And that's why I'm very intentional about what I take in.
And when you find out that everything that looks good isn't good for you, you blame the hoes you chose for leaving you malnourished. But you knew good and goddamn well sugar was bad for you. So that's on you. You gave into temptation and found out why lust was one of the 7 deadly sins. I know they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but what they don't tell you is beauty is a novelty. Eventually that shine on your trophy wife will dull, and what you'll be left with is essentially a sentient decoration.
Listen, nothing more needs to be said. Listen to people when they tell you who they are. Sometimes we have all these romanticism around who people are. Oh, he's a man of God. He's a this, he's a that. And he is all of that. He's all of that. But he's also a luster like the rest of them. He's also a man of the world like the rest of them. Do we still have men who want to travel narrow road? Do those still exist? I'm asking genuinely. Do we have fathers for real? Not just men who father children, but fathers. Do we have men who don't give in to lust? Do we have men who truly, truly appreciate and value the natural woman? Do we still have men who truly love, deeply love? Do we have men who take accountability? Do we have men who know what truth is anymore? Do we? And it's I guess the same applies to women. But since I see men as leaders, that's who I'm asking. That's who I'm asking. You see, we can blame the Epsteins, the Diddies, the this. Find whoever you want to blame. The world will always give you somebody to blame. The world will always give us someone else to blame. Oh, this is the reason. You ever hear people who have never been impacted by racism talk about racism stop people from doing something? Then why don't you stop racism? I'm just saying, we will accept any reason not to do the work, not to take accountability, not to do the Father's work. But we cannot show somebody else's hand to God. We can't. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to have to answer for ourselves. I'm guilty. I'm a coward. I'm a coward. Yeah. And that's something I have to live with. All I'm trying to say is the world has become what we've all allowed it to become. We're all participants. We're all participants. This has been Allegedly. It is my hope that something in all of this has stirred something in you to go do some self-work. It certainly has stirred some things in me to go do some more self-work. I have a lot of self-work to do because I've got to be a better person. I have to be a good woman, a good wife, a good companion, friend, family member. I've got to try. I've got to try. I've got to try, and I'm trying. And now I don't know if I will ever be a man's cup of tea. It doesn't feel that way, right? Because I want to be my authentic self, and I'm not a quote unquote baddie, and I have no desires to be. I want to be a child of God. That's what I want to be. That's what I'm trying to be. That is who I want to be. Yeah. And that's why for me, sometimes I don't really understand when people say, oh no, I want to live until I'm old and gray and crawling. No, I'm ready to leave this world now. And I want to say this on the record. I don't want a funeral. When I go find somebody else to love, someone who can actually receive the love. Love me while I can receive it. Tell me the things I can receive it. Give me when I can actually receive it. And by God, there's this thing that I see people doing that, Lord, I pray that anyone even consider doing it towards me, God Almighty, that you will switch that thought. When I pass away, I want to be cremated, and I don't want a picture of me out there anywhere in any coffin or as a body. How it is so, I find it so disrespectful. We claim how we love people. We love this. We love that. My God, let them rest in peace. I'm not saying that because I'm criticizing other people as though I'm any better. I just want to be better. And not better than other people. I just want to be my the best version of myself. I want to be thoughtful and considerate and understanding and forgiving. I want to be kind. I want to truly listen to understand. I want to provide support. I want to be a safe space. I want to be the kind of person that when people interact with me and they leave, they feel that they would have experienced the kindness and goodness of God in some way. That's who I want to be. And I want to be me, the full version of myself, authentically myself, with my natural hair. I love my natural hair. I love tying my hair. I feel the most me when I do this. You know, go be yourself. Go be yourself. Do your self-work. Let us do our self-work. Let's become better humans, better people, kinder, more thoughtful, more mindful. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, for watching, and listening to Allegedly. I'm Coach Raquel.
Welcome to mycoachministry.com. We're on a mission to empower 1 million purpose-driven entrepreneurs, turning calling into currency. Through strategic coaching, we guide visionary leaders, brand elevation, and creative empowerment, helping leaders break barriers and own their identity. Build impactful, wealth-generating brands that echo across generations.
Oh, wow. We have come to the end. We have come to the end of another show. I'm Coach Raquel. It's a little horsey over there. He's my inspiration and my companion. And every time I love horses, and I pray that someday I'll own a horse and live on a ranch. That's my truest desire. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for finding any value in whatever I do. I want to say thanks to my clients, thanks to my networks, thanks to my support system, thanks to the people who are kind to me. thank you so much, because I feel like I receive a lot of goodness. I receive a lot of mercy. Oh my God, I get so much grace. And I just want to say thank you. I get so much understanding, so much forgiveness. My God, I feel like a wealthy woman because there are so many blessings that's poured into me. I get a lot of forgiveness. Oh my gosh, I've gotten a lot of forgiveness and pardon by the people who sometimes I'm the harshest with, I'm the cruelest to, I'm the most not nice to. I get it wrong, I say it wrong, I do it wrong, even despite my best efforts or intention. But they forgive me. They give me kindness. They give me grace and mercy. And I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for your grace and your mercy and your kindness and your thought and your forgiveness. Thank you so much. Thank you to my siblings. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to my friends, my angels, my networks, everyone who poured into me. I just want to say thank you, because you didn't have to, but you've chosen to. And I'm like, God, I serve a God that, I can't even talk about that because that's going to make the tears flood over me right now, but I serve a God that loves me, that treats me well, that treats me with kindness, a God that's understanding, a God that allows me to find myself, a God that allows me to find my way, a God that doesn't pressure perfection out of me. He's not, a God that allows me to be his child, to be the child, curious, self-working, mess up sometimes. I serve a God that loves me, that shows up for me. And it is my hope and my prayer that he'll send a husband to me. I don't know where he is. I don't think I've met him yet, but I hope I get to meet him someday. But I'm telling you, like, as I go, I just want to say this. You are amazingly wonderful. You were not designed to be the spoils of the earth. So let's not act as though we are the spoils of the earth. We're not. We're the diamonds, we're the pearls, we are the humans. We're the people of God. So let's not lose ourselves. It's not necessarily easy, but it's not hard either. Just I don't know, our kids deserve a world where they can thrive, and all these STIs and trafficking and they're so vulnerable. Are we doing our best? If we're doing our best, then great. That's all that's expected of us. But are we doing our best? Can we really, really say we're doing our best? And with that, I'm just going to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Please share a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. How do you feel about this? Did I come across judgmental? Because that was not my intent, but I know how flawed I am, so it could have. I just feel for our kids. I really do. I feel for our kids. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day. This has been Refresh, Relax, Renew, episode 36. Take care of yourself and be safe out there. Goodbye.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Raquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
I love to open new packages. I will give you the latest information on top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding along with me. I'm Coach Raquel, and it is this a passion project for me, so I am so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.